everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our lovely audience, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Aditya, and I'm the Corporate Communication Manager, and I'll be the host for this webinar. As we're all aware, today's topic is all about and centered around taking your OTT business global. It'll be an interesting discussion focusing on the key detrimental factors and ways to overcome challenges that come away while going global. As we move on, just to inform everybody, this webinar is being recorded and we'll be taking up questions from the audience at the end of the presentation. To start off, let me take you through a brief case study and share some insights to set the precedence. Tanmay, if we can come to the slides. Now, we are all witness of the rise of Netflix as it went global across in 2017, across 180 countries, and which saw its revenues and subscription rise from 99 million subscribers in 2017, to 207 million subscribers by 2021. That's a growth of more than 100%. A similar story was crafted by Udemy that went global with its e-learning platform and soared over its own targets. Now you must be wondering what led to this. We should be aware that Netflix users are a loyal bunch of users, with the majority of them reporting that they would keep Netflix even if their monthly subscription gets hiked, or even if Netflix started showing them ads. This loyalty probably comes from the wealth of the content spanning across genres and diverse catalogs of TV shows, movies, and documentaries. Now, Netflix surely entices a wide set of audiences and consistently impresses users with their often binge-worthy original content. Perhaps unsurprisingly, that is why Netflix appeals to such a diverse age group, with the majority of adults aged between 18 to 54 years. As in the case of Netflix and Udemy in this respect, in the next slide, I can show you the best game changers that were the fact for the rise of Netflix and Udemy. And then the next slide, yeah. So the biggest game changers were the fact that both the content could be accessed from anywhere and from any device. Both worked on bringing content with a local appeal. Both the businesses tweaked their websites, their mobile apps content with multilingual audio and subtitles, and also had an ability to collect payments locally to entice the customers of the targeted region. Now, before we move on, let's touch upon a few challenges in the next slide. Now, we're all privy of certain roadblocks such as content licensing and geo-restrictions. Who can look over copyright? It's a legal right of ownership that allows content creators of written, artistic, and published work to control how it is used and if it can be copied. Then comes license, the agreement between a copyright owner and another user. The license details an exception of sole legal ownership for the intended use of content, be it online or broadcast, corporate or promotional. There are majorly two types of licenses available. Number one is the exclusive one, where the content is meant to be used by one organization for the duration of the license. The other one is a non-exclusive license that can be used by multiple organizations at any given point of time. Now you must be wondering, when does one need a license? Now, as per law, you need a permission from the copyright owner for any content that you have not created yourself but intend to use and share. Now, if you're wondering about the cost involved, I would suggest you go through the various revenue models available, including royalty-based and profit sharing. However, that topic is too vast and can be up for discussion on a different date and time. Now, if you've already obtained a license for your content, you've got to be wary of the geo-restrictions of the country you intend to target. Now, many countries have restrictions on the genre or the type of content that you present, even the elements that are showcased in the content. Hence, it's necessary to have your services geo-restricted at a platform or a content level. Now, if you're in the business of video streaming, offering content that ranges from movies, TV shows, to health, fitness videos, or even simply e-learning, your major concern should be having a platform that will support global digital transformation across geographies, providing a multilingual front end, websites and apps, and a versatile platform that can charge your audience in the local currency and make streaming available with audio and subtitles in their native language. Now, for this and more, you need Muvi, which all of this and more is inbuilt. Now, continuing on the same today, we have Tanmay Biswal, Director of Engineering at Muvi, specially invited for an exclusive chat to discuss how Muvi can set your OTT business on the path of globalization. Now, with over 12 years of industry experience, Tanmay has been associated with Muvi for the past 3 years and heads the engineering division. He is responsible for the architecture, security of the company, products, and services. Prior to this, he has been associated with Adobe Solutions Private Limited as the CTO, and throughout his career has made significant contributions to the SaaS consulting industry in the realms of architecture, infrastructure, security, performance, and integration. All in all, he is the right person to proceed over this fuel topic ahead. I would like to pass on the baton to Tanmay for sharing his insight and enlighten us.
Thank you, Aditya, but the detailed introductions of mine. So, uh, as I mentioned, as Aditya mentioned, we just need to talk, how exactly Muvi is going to help you out to have a OTT business in the globe, which have the potentials to have the 10x growth. So, today we'll be discussing another the major points that actually Movie will help you out how we can have a 10x growth in the OTT platform. So as mentioned by Aditya, we have a lot of difficulties in place while having the OTT business over an internet. It comes with multiple things like how you can restrict this content, that is the geo restrictions, and also how you can localize and have a multilingualism support in your website for a better user experience, and also how you can collect the payments from various payment gateways, and that varies to countries and different locations altogether. So today we'll be discussing on the most major factors that how multilingual and localizations works, what exactly it is, and how exactly the architectures we have in place, what are the different payment gateways that we support, what are the different payment methods, and about Movie, and the last topic, how Movie can help. So coming to the first topic, as most of you we have many CMS and platforms in place like WordPress, Magento, and many others, Shopify. So they do have the support like the multilingual and localizations kind of things. And similarly, you will be finding a very rare OTT platform who actually has this kind of features like multilingual and localizations. So before jumping into the core architecture and how exactly it works, let me try to clarify a bit about what is actually multilingual and localizations. So coming to the multilingual kind of things, basically it's an architecture or a system in place where exactly one entity can be represented by many different languages. That means you will have many different attributes of a same entity that can be represented by using many different languages that you set up. So the main advantages of such kind of platform is like we have the potential. That means that web applications or the website has the potentials that people can participate from global with their own ace of information that they just wanted to access via internet. And for OTT information, means OTT platforms, having multilingual support has a lot of benefits in terms of your search engine platforms like Google, Yahoo, Bing, and all. So they recognize your content with the multiple languages, and it helps to have a better SEO properties, and people can easily get the contents with the locals, means the local language of searches. In the similar fashion, we have a localization support. What does it actually mean? It's like the process of adapting content and products or services to a specific country or even a locations. If you just wanted to present, if you just wanted to translate the whole website into a different language altogether via this localization software, you simply change the language if you got to, or when we have auto detection system in place, it will automatically detect your preferred language based on your IP address or even the country you are trying to browse it. And as I mentioned, in the translations is a subset of localizations part. And localizations actually it helps us to automate few of the things like based on your local, it will automatically change the banners or even content or even cultural events in your home page, which actually varies from different locations. But let's say, for example, if you're browsing the website from the USA location, then you must be seeing the content and banners based uh, on your local, which is actually completely different that the people that those are actually trying to browse from Germany or in India. So this is called multilingual and localizations. And having these benefits in the OTT industry has a great benefits in terms of search engine platforms and the ease of using these platforms with their own preferred language and settings globally. Moving next, how exactly it works and its architecture. Means as I mentioned, most of the platforms like WordPress, Magento, Shopify, blah blah blah, all these kind of things are actually having this kind of supports like the multilingual and even the localization support. So here, if you look at the left part of the screen, which is actually the backend tree, how exactly the system keeps things in the database and even the file system. So basically, when exactly one content is being added, or even any kind of digital content like in the banners, those are actually being added behind the scene into the CMS, then we'll be allowing, which language actually you're trying to set these properties for. Means these meta informations you're setting, whether it's a specific local, or when you just wanted to change the local and set it the properties based on your preferences. For example, by default it will save by to the default local that has been set in your uh, CMS configurations. Based on that, your all content meta informations will be saved in that local. If you just wanted to have the same informations for different locals, you just change the local and the CMS, then you will be providing, means say you will be having an options for exactly you can have all these meta informations with your means a native local that is been set. Then all these meta properties and all along with the local actually been saved to a database. And similarly, you can have the translation to JSONs, that is mostly known as I18 kind of things, I18N. So basically, we'll be giving one of the CS file by collecting all these text that has been written in a website, which is actually based on the English. Then you will be given a CSV file. That means it will automatically create a JSON file for that. For exactly, you just need to have the corresponding local language along with the English statement. So for example, you will be getting a CSV file, or exactly you will be getting the English statement in the first column, and in the second column, you just need to fill, what will be the corresponding language, means of what the corresponding phase of that English in the respected local. So once that has been done, then that file is actually saved as a JSON file in the local. And that is the behind the scene architecture. That means on the backend, we does like this. Once that has been saved, when actually people come to browse your front end website, then they will be, means our system will auto detect their local preferences based on their browsing experience. That means so when people try to browse the same thing from a different country or locations, our system will automatically pick up their address and it will choose for the local languages. Otherwise, means if you just wanted to browse the same thing with your preferred local, that you can easily change in the front end, then it will automatically bring all these informations from the database and corresponding JSON file and showcase the same thing on the front end. So the people has their own language preferences as well as the local preferences, and they can easily get the content along with the website properties and CTA buttons and all. So this is how exactly the architecture in place and works. And moving to the next, because this is one of the most important aspect of your business, because unless and until you have the payments in place, then there is no meaning of having a business. So this is the reason we just wanted to integrate multiple payment gateways in a OTT platform, just to make it global, so that you can means get money from different currencies and from different geolocations. So before that, we just wanted to know what exactly a payment gateway is about. So it's essentially, every website or an online store that has a monetization model needs a payment gateway, because unless a payment gateway, you can't even collect money from the customers. It is thus an e-commerce service that approves and authorizes this transfer of digital payments between buyer and seller. A payment gateway is essentially the intermediary between the buyer and seller that ensures the smooth transaction in between them. And we have two broad categories of payment gateway. Those are hosted and non-hosted. So moving to next, what are the hosted and non-hosted payment gateways? Like and in hosted, like the third-party checkout system that redirects the users to payment service providers. That means, for example, if a customer just wanted to pay from PayPal using PayPal or even Stripe or even Amazon Pay kind of things, then the user will be directly redirected to the native payment systems, that means in Stripe or even PayPal or even Amazon. Then the customer will pay the amount, everything at their end. Once that has been done, it will get redirected back to the website. So in this case, the user will be moving to a third-party payment system, means the third-party checkout system that redirects the user to the service provider. Then they will be collecting the payment, and after the payment, then the user will come back to the original website. In case of non-hosted, the customer completes the checkout process on the merchant web page without being redirected. Meaning, the website, let's say for example, if I have a website in place that is let's say x.com, then while doing any kind of transactions over there, then it will go to the checkout page and the domain will remain same, that is the x.com/checkout. For exactly, you will be prompted with the basic needs like the credit card or in the UPA mode, or various informations you just need to place and make the payment right at there without being redirected to the third-party payment services. So here in this case, there is a bit advantages in terms of UI UX, because user enters the payment information directly on the merchant website, giving the merchants complete control on the customer experience. That means they will never feel that they migrated to different payment gateways which has a different UI UX altogether, but instead it's they see a complete uniform website throughout the applications. And also it helps us a lot in terms of conversion tracking, because we have the complete control as the user is not migrated to any of the third-party platforms and comes back. And coming to about Muvi, it's actually founded in 2011 with the headquarters in New York, US. Muvi, when we started this organization, we have a basic thing in mind with a vision to disrupt the global video and audio streaming market. And so far, we are good to go with, because we have more than 500 plus leads to 200 plus active customers, and we have scaled 9 products and some more are in pipeline. But the key product offers to end-to-end solutions to launch video audio streaming in basically the OTT and live platforms just in a second. That means you don't have to do anything, you just take a subscriptions. It's a complete free kind of things. That means you can take a free trial at any point in time, and everything is ready there. Means starting from apps to website, everything is fully automated. You don't have to do anything. You just simply collect the contents, upload it, have your own configurations in terms of geo restrictions, or even your subtitles, or even your local, or even your uh, multilingual supports. Everything is there in a CMS. You just add your content, do all these configurations, then you are ready to go. Means you don't have to do anything for that. We have different apps altogether, starting from iOS, Android, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and even Kaizen, LGTV, everything there inbuilt. So this is how exactly our Muvi does so far in this OTT business. And the coming to the main topic, how Muvi helps taking the OTT business globally with the 10x revenues, because as I mentioned, Muvi has its inbuilt support both for multilingual and even the localizations feature, which enhances the visibility, having the better SEO with the great user experience to see things in the preferred language and contents. And also, Muvi has 40 plus payment gateways integrated out of the box to collect payments in almost all possible currencies from the various countries. And to add any custom payment gateways to the OTT platform is extremely flexible and can be done with the minimal dev. So that's all for today. Means in these sessions, and thank you all for attending these sessions. Now I'm happy to take questions from you. If you have any questions or queries, you can feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Tanmay, for taking us through this. I'm sure the audience has a lot to take away from this. We are open forum for questions. We have already started getting questions. There's one Ms. Ishita Banik asking, is it possible to add a custom payment gateway or a method, and what is the average time frame?
Okay. Sorry, I forgot the name now. Aditya, could you please just help me out with
Miss
the name?
Ishita. Her name is Miss Ishita. She's asking, is it possible to add a custom payment gateway or a method, and what is the average time frame for it?
Yeah, Sita. Actually, to be honest, it's our platform is extremely flexible. I say, we can actually add any kind of payment gateways or even payment methods into the system with a minimal dev effort, with the average time of 4 weeks. That means we can easily add any kind of payment method that you come up with, that we can easily add with a 4 weeks of development effort.
Thanks. There's another attendee. It's an anonymous question. They've asked, if someone wants to build the app on their own, how the same will be supported by Muvi?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and even technical questions. Thank you for asking that questions, because that was my anticipations. People like the technical people must definitely ask these questions. So it's basically like we have APIs in place everywhere. That means if you just wanted to have your own platform, or like you just wanted to build the front end in a different technologies by using a Node, maybe Vue, maybe React, maybe Angular, it's completely freebie and open to you. Once you have the Muvi subscriptions in place, we have a beautiful documentations of APIs in place, by using which you can easily get that done, where we have these features and benefits. That means you can collect all sort of informations in your preferred locals or even languages, starting from your error messages to even content informations that has been supported by our own multilingual and localizations features. Means it is out of the box. You don't have to do anything. You simply make an API call with the parameter of local that you just wanted to get the responses, then everything you will get with the same local.
We have another question from Ms. Anu, who's asking, do you charge for adding a new payment gateway?
To be honest, yes, because if it is like a custom payment method which is not general, or even if you add it, we can't even use it for other customers. And more a lot, I can say, if it is not that general, then obviously we'll definitely charge it. But it comes like that, if a lot of customers are requesting for the same kind of payment gateways, then we'll be adding a charge. That means we'll be charging for extra, but the amount will be less. And that that can be that always can be negotiable by the sales team, and we have great discount offers in place in terms of day offer, and it can be easily done with negotiating with a better price.
Another question is from Yusuf, who's asking what is the highest screen size that can be achieved with Muvi, and and he's asking if a person has a home theater and has a 30 feet screen, what is the highest bandwidth you would require to for the big pictures to come on screen?
Aditya, actually, it depends. If you, it depends on the quality of the content. It depends the speed of the internet and all. So if it is like a 4K video and all, then obviously it will be consuming the highest degree of bandwidth. I don't have the exact number now about what will the bandwidth and all, because it's all variable, because it's all depends on the internet. It's all dependent on the contents, resolutions. So currently we are supporting with the TV apps which is having a screen size of like 3024 to 1080 pixel kind of things. But it depends. But if you have a better video quality, then obviously it looks good. Otherwise, the video pixelate will be distorted. That means the clarity will get distorted, and the quality also drops. And it depends with the kind of internet speed you have.
Right. So I hope that answers this question. The final question of the session is, how does the multilingualism or localization work on the mobile or the TV app?
As I mentioned previously, we have the APIs in place. That means when exactly you will be calling your APIs, by passing a parameter of local, it will respond you the responses as a JSON in the corresponding locals. That means you don't have to do anything. Whatever the response you got from API, you just try to use it. Then it will automatically make things happen. That means if you just wanted to translate the same thing, then obviously you will have something in place so that it will get the data from the JSON file and translate the text to the corresponding local. But it's all on API based. That means while requesting any four APIs to get the responses, by passing the local, you will be getting all sort of information starting from your error message to the responses in the corresponding local, that you can use in an app for any sort of information. And also, like I mentioned, we have the translation JSON file in place. That also you can get by making an API call and do all sort of translations that users trying to manipulate in your app.
Sure. Okay, Tanmay, I think we're almost out of time. So I would like to thank you so much for giving us time to and coming as explaining this nice PPT. This webinar was really insightful for all of us. I would like to repeat to all our audiences that our sessions are being recorded, and we'll be giving out this video on our social media platforms and on the YouTube channel. I would request you all to please visit our social media channels and follow us there. And you can also listen to our podcast that's on Spotify. You can search for Muvi on Spotify and attend the podcasts. Thank you so much for coming and joining us here.
Yes, thank you all. Yep. Have a good day. And I hope you safe.